If you're joining us, you're very welcome. We'll just wait another minute, maybe just for everyone to get in out of the waiting room. Right. I think majority are in there now. Just to let you all know that this is being recorded as well. So we'll be emailing it to all of you over the next few days. So you'll be able to watch back in it. So don't be worried if you miss anything or if you're not fully sure of anything, you will get it and you'll be able to rewatch it in your own time again. So you're very welcome. I'm just going to share my screen here and we're going to get straight into it because I don't want to keep you all too long. So Chris, can you see my screen there?
Yeah, I can see there now.
Brilliant. So as I said, we're going to cover calf registration and lambing and just touch on a little bit of breeding as well and any questions you have around that. So just to introduce the team here tonight, my name is Katie Shanahan. I'm Content Marketing Executive at Herdwatch. I'm joined by Chris Good, who is our tech support lead, and Chris will be going through a demo of the app later on and answering all your questions live. And then in the background is Dara O'Brien, who is customer support. So if you have any questions, even if you know questions you have straight away, pop them in. You'll see the Q&A button there on the bottom on the right. If you click in there and send in messages, Dara will actually be working behind the scenes and answering all your questions privately back to you. So start asking straight away if you need to, and he'll make sure he gets to them tonight. If there, however, isn't time or maybe a little bit more investigation is needed to get to some questions, we will be taking all questions and suggestions we get in the Q&A section, and customer support team will get them tomorrow and they'll make contact if needed. So anything at all, get them in there, get suggestions. If you have new suggestions for the app or if you think something is missing, get them in there and we'll make sure we'll take a look at them. So what we're going to be doing over hopefully the next 30 minutes or so, we don't want to keep you too long. So obviously calf registration and Herdwatch is the main thing tonight. We're going to be looking at how to sync your herd to Ag Foods and ICBF. We're going to look at how to basically do the calf registration. We're going to look at bulk calf registrations, DNA calf registrations, and your genotyping, how it fits into your breeding cycle management, your calving book, and then we'll look at general calf reg queries. And then on the lambing side of things, we'll look into how you create the lambing record and then just managing the breeding records. And like I said, we'll have a Q&A once Chris finishes his demo, but get the questions in early so we can get to them during this webinar. So just to give you a brief backstory on Herdwatch, we launched in 2014. So we've been helping over 20,000 members with their herd performance and compliance. So yeah, over 20,000 members. We have 2.3 million cattle in the app, over 2.9 million calf registrations, 1.7 million sheep in the app, and over 750,000 acres managed on the pasture side of the Herdwatch app. So why should you register your calves with Herdwatch? So obviously the number one is no more paperwork. So everything is, we're trying to cut down the amount of paperwork we're doing. So this just basically simplifies everything. So you can be registered, you can create your calf and register it on your phone on the spot as soon as they're born. And we will send that record to the department, who will send the blue card back to yourself. It's fast and it gets the job done fast. So the app will tell you the highest tag number used to date. And if the tag with the barcode, you can use your phone or your iPad, use the camera, open it up, scan the tag, and it'll input all the numbers there for you. So it even cuts down having to read the tag number and type it in. So making better decisions. So registering your calves in Herdwatch will help you manage your breeding cycle with automatic reminders to watch out for heats, enter serves and scans, and track progeny. So Chris will obviously later on go through a little bit of that as well in our demo. But if you have any other questions on breeding, do get them in. Eliminate farm paperwork. So Herdwatch is fully compliant with farm assurance schemes across Ireland. So once you keep your records in the Herdwatch app, there's no need to write them down anywhere. There's no need to put them into ICBF. So we'll be able to sync up with Ag Foods. We'll be able to sync up with ICBF, and you'll be fully compliant for everything, all your inspections, all your schemes, etc. And then keeping your farm records safe forever. So as you're putting in your records, they'll be saved to the cloud. So they will be there forever as long as you're putting them in. So I'm now going to hand over to Chris. You can pull out your phone there if you want to go through and follow what he's doing. Again, if you have any questions, if something pops up and you're not sure of, do get them in as we're going. That'll give Dara time to answer the questions privately back to you, but we'll also be getting to some live questions at the end of this demo. So I'm going to pass over to you now, Chris, and you can get your demo screen up.
No. That's showing there now, Katie.
Perfect, yeah.
Perfect. Good evening, everybody. So I'm just going to walk through a demo this evening around the calf registration, how it links in with your breeding, to your herd sync as well, our new calving book, and then as well I do a bit on the lambing side with Herdwatch. So essentially, in order to get the first thing, the most important thing, I suppose, to get your herd started in Herdwatch would be getting your herd synced. So this is the demo account that I'm using here this evening. So initially, when you download Herdwatch, once we connect your Herdwatch account with the Department of Agriculture, your herd becomes live on the system. So as you can see here, the herd total is 270. And when I press my herd, it gives me a full list of any of the animals that are currently on my department profile. So in order to connect your Herdwatch with Ag Food, you need to log into your Ag Food account and select Herdwatch as your software provider. And once you connect that, the herd will automatically download onto the system. And from that, then you're able to process your calf registrations, do your movements, and you're able to say run your herd reports and your movement reports through the app. Now, the other thing as well that you can connect with your Herdwatch app is your ICBF account. So by connecting your ICBF account, in the event that you have an AI technician coming onto your farm, or if you have a technician that comes in and does your scanning and he uploads the results to ICBF, that information will come down into the Herdwatch app. Now, as well as that, it brings down additional details onto the animal's profiles. So I'll show you that there in a few minutes. But in order to connect your ICBF, on the home screen, press the 3 lines in the top left-hand corner and go into settings, and it'll prompt you with an option to sync with ICBF. So when you press sync with ICBF, it'll ask for your ICBF username and password. And once you put in your username and password, that'll set up the link between Herdwatch and ICBF. So then the sync will start. We'll start getting information in on your animals' profiles. And then if you have an AI technician on the farm, the serve records and the scanning records, they'll all start coming into the app as well. And it works both ways. We'll send information to ICBF as well for you. So as well, if you're in any schemes in regards to say weights going to ICBF, if you upload your weights on the Herdwatch, we'll send them across, your dry offs and your scan results. Or if you want to do your serves, if you're doing DIY AI and you're putting in your serves into Herdwatch, we'll send them across as well. So I suppose going back to kind of the main topic with tonight's webinar is calf registration. So when it comes to registering calves, you can see here on the home screen, you have the register calf registration button, which you can also press the plus sign and go calf here. So when you select calf registration, it gives you the option to select a gender, so male or female, or you can go to the list where calves that you've previously created that you haven't registered yet, you can go into the list and you can register them in a batch. But I'll show you the batch registration process there in a while. So for the purpose of the demo, we'll select a female calf here, and it brings us through to the animal creation. So our gender is selected here on top. Any of the headings that are in orange, they're required fields to complete the tasks. So we can see here that gender, date of birth, calving difficulty, dam, they're all required fields. So our gender is selected. So when it comes to put in your tag number, there's 2 different ways, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. So you can manually input the tag number here. You can use the scan function if it's on your phone or tablet. So when you press scan tag, it'll bring up the option on your phone to scan the barcode on the tag, and that'll bring in the tag number here. Or else you can press select next tag. So when you press this, it gives you a full list of any pre-populate or any tags that are available to your herd from the Department of Agriculture. So this is only a demo account, so we have no tags available on this, but it'll give you a full list of any of the tags that are available to your herd, and you can select the animal from there. Now, if you're first time using Herdwatch and you're creating your first calf registration, the tag field here will be empty. But once you enter your first full tag, the system will automatically remember your herd identifier. So this will automatically be pre-populated. So you're just entering in the last 2 digits of the calf. So we'll just put in 5 digits here. So next thing, you're on to your date of birth. So you select the date of birth of the animal. So I'll just put down that the calf's born on this Friday. Calving difficulty. So it gives you a drop-down option of normal calving, some assistant, considerably difficult, or veterinary assistance. So it says normal calving. You can upload an image of the calf here if you want. Your next step then is onto your dam and sire selection. So if you're using the breeding section of Herdwatch, or you're connected with ICBF and your serves are coming in, when you select the dam from the list, so when you select dam here, it brings you a full list of animals that are due to calve. When you select the dam, it'll bring in the most recent sire on that serve. So in the event that, say, you know that this AI bull isn't the sire of the calf, it was a stock bull, you can select the AI stock bull here, and you can select your stock bull from the list. Now, for the calf registration process, your dam is a required field in your sire breed, but we always recommend that you put in your sire onto the registration. So that's how we select your dam and sire. If you want to put in your calf size and vigor, you can put in the details here. For pedigree calf, you can input your pedigree calf's name, and that'll be sent as a part of the registration, and it'll be forwarded on to the relevant pedigree societies. In the event of a stillborn, you can select stillborn here or dead at birth. But we'll probably cover registering dead calves there in a while. If it's an embryo transfer, you can select the genetic dam here by selecting or putting the genetic dam's tag number, and then you just need to select the genetic dam's breed as a part of the registration. You have an option to put in the calf's weight. If you don't put in the calf's weight, we have an assumed weight for calves of 40 kilos for a heifer and 45 for a bull calf. But you can put in a weight here at registration if you want. Your breed will automatically be populated here based on the dam and sire. But the department will always confirm the correct breed on the animal. You can also input the purpose of the animal. So if you're going to be keeping this calf for fattening, or if you're going to be keeping it in the dairy herd, you can select its purpose. And if you want to put in a freeze brand number or a management number, you can put it into this field. And if there's any notes then you have on the calf or the calving itself, if it was any difficulties or anything that you want to note, you can always put in the notes section here. So when you're happy enough with the details that you put in, you can press save, and it'll prompt you as to whether you want to register the calf now or come back to it later on. So if you press OK, that registration will prompt you to put in your Herdwatch PIN, and it'll send through to the department. When you press not now, it'll ask you, do you want to create another calf? I'm going to say no, I'm finished. And it'll just give you the overview of the animal's profile. So you can check a few details, that you have the correct gender, that you have the correct dam and sire on the registration, the date of birth is correct, all them details. And you can go back then and you can press register calf now. Or else, if you have a couple of calves created and you want to send them off in one batch, you can do the batch registration. So to do your batch registration, on your home screen, when you press calf registration, you press register save calves, and it gives you a full list. Now, demo list could be cleaned up a little bit, but when you press batch register, it gives you any of the animals that are in the list ready to be registered here. So select 2 calves, and you can press send. It'll ask you for your Herdwatch PIN. Once you put in your Herdwatch PIN, that registration will go through to the department, and the blue card will automatically be sent out to you. Now, if you're in the DNA calf program, you follow the same procedures as normal with registering the calf. You send off for both your BBD and your DNA sample to the lab. You register your calf on Herdwatch. ICBF will confirm the parentage result. They will be made available to us from the Department of Agriculture, and then the Department of Agriculture will issue you with your blue card then. So the parentage that will be on the blue card will be also sent through to Herdwatch, and that's what will show on the Herdwatch animal's profile. So in the event that you've sent off a DNA sample and the DNA hasn't come back within 20 days, the animal may move out of your herd list here, but it's not gone from your herd. It's just once it's confirmed by the department, the animal will show on your herd list then. Now, a good way for you to keep on top of this or track this is using the new calving book. Now, it's on our complete plan, our complete plan. So if you go into the management section and into calving book, this gives you all the details as to how your calves progressing. So you can see here the number of cows that have calved, what's due to calve, the amount of calves you've registered, your males, females, your all calves, different stats then as well, say on the number of days old, your weights. So if you select one of these lists, it gives you a full overview of what's on the registration. When you scroll over through the list, you have a few different options then. So you can see here, date received by the department will be populated. If when you get the blue card back, you can go in and check off the list that you have received the blue card for that animal. The BVD status will come back. We also get the genotype reg if you're in the DNA program. But then as well, we get the genotype registration pending, whether if it is or not. And then the dam that was on the registration and the sire that was on the registration will be populated here. And if there is any discrepancies, from the DNA, it'll update onto the animal's profile. So you're able to just check and see if you had any discrepancies there. But that's in the calving book. So it's a great new feature there on the complete plan, that you can just go in and check a full overview as to how your calving's going. So that's on the calving book. I suppose with using Herdwatch for the breeding section or having that connection with ICBF, it makes your registration process very easy because your dam is automatically bringing in the sire information as well on the registration. So in the breeding section of Herdwatch here, when you record your serves, you have a full list of serves here of all the cows that have been served. When you record your scan results, you have a full list then of your scans as in regards to what's in calf, empty, and if you've done any pre-breeding scans or you have to do any rechecks, you can check the list here. But from that, when you register the calf, when you're registering the calf, the details that are on the dam in regards to the serve will come in there. So you have a due to calve list here, which is a very handy list this time of year to check in on. So you can see the number of days away cows are from calving, and as according to your register and your calves, the cows are going into your calf list here. So if you aren't putting in scan results, your due to calf date is always calculated off the gestation. So if you have any important section in Herdwatch for farmers this time of year with registration is just check your breeding settings. So if you press the three lines in the top left hand corner and go into settings, you'll have this breeding option here. So each farm is different in some senses. So your best thing to do is go into your breeding settings and just make sure that your details here are correct, suited to your farm. So once you update them details, that'll go back then against the animal's profiles and the settings will be correct for you. So you have different options here, just setting your calving season start date, your gestation period. You can put in your say your reminders. You can set your reminders here in the watch board, say from prior to calving. So you have the option there to say days from calving. You can set a reminder so any animals that are due to calve the next 7 days will show on your watch board. But if you want to increase that up to 10, you can just edit in the settings and press save. So that's in regards to the settings and your breeding. As well as that, look, you have the option here as well if you go into compliance and calves register, where you'll be able to get that list of animals there. Katie, will I go on to the lambing side of it first, or will I answer a few questions on the cattle side?
Yeah, there's questions starting to come in now. So while I'm gathering those, you might just go through the sheep side of it. So guys, if you've any questions on what he's said so far, I have a list of them here already done out from what you've been sending in, but keep them coming in and myself and Dara will try get them answered. So you head away on there to the lambing side, please, Chris.
So if you are looking to record a lambing record on Herdwatch, if you press the app section here in the bottom, you can switch over to sheep by Herdwatch and it'll bring you into your flock. So creating the task is much the same as creating your calf registration. So once you have your ewes in the system, if you press the plus sign and go lambing record, it'll give you a full list of your ewes. If you're using an EID reader, any of the tasks that have this Bluetooth icon on it, you can connect your Bluetooth reader and it'll allow you to scan the ewe and it'll select the ewe for this task. And it's the same on the cattle side. If you see any task with the Bluetooth icon, say if you're doing medicine treatment, either any record like that, you can just connect your EID reader for animal selection. So we'll select it down from the list here, and it brings us through to the task. So You fill out your basic details on your lambing task first. So you just win and say the date of the lambing task, the number of lambs, so select 2. In the event that the lambs are aborted, you can select the toggle here. Now it'll give you an option that you can create a general task or you can go into full detail. So if you go no, it'll just allow you to save that record against the yo. But if you select yes, it allows you to create the lambs in the app. So here then you can put in your sire for the task. So when you press sire, it'll give you a list of sires that are in the flock and any sires that have moved out. And you can also create a sire here as well by pressing the button on the bottom right hand corner. So when you select a sire from the list, actually select this one, the sire breed will be populated. You have the option then, if it's embryo transfer, you can fill in the genetic dam by selecting the toggle, or else you can just fill in the other details in regards to lambing difficulties, mother nobility, milkiness, and in the event that you want to add the O to the cull list, you can just select this toggle here. So by pressing next, it brings you through to your lambs, creating your lambing record, or the lambs itself, their profile. So here you can select their genders, so male, you can put in a tag number if you are tagging them, or else if you want to put in a management number. So Herdwatch will populate a management number for you that'll link the lamb to the O that you can go back at a later date and put in your tag number, or else you can just put in a visual ID number if you have it your own system on your farm. Your date of birth will come across from the start of the task, your breed, your sire, and you can put in pedigree names or any ID or tattoos that you have that you may want to put on the task. Your weights can be put in here, and then you have the option regarding rearing, if it's just normally reared, if it's bottle, or you have a foster. If you do select foster, it allows you to select a foster yo. So you're happy with your details on lamb 1, you just follow through to lamb 2 and just follow the same process. Select your gender, fill in your few details, and then you can just press save. It'll prompt you whether you want to create another record. If you don't want to create another record, just go no, I'm finished, and that's the record created. Now, if any of these details are incorrect, or oh, actually, I must go back there and edit this, edit any of these records. If you press the 3 dots in the top right hand corner and go edit, it'll allow you to adjust the record. Much the same as on the cattle side. If we're using the breeding section in the sheep side of the app, it'll help the lambing task creation in regards when you select your yo, it'll bring across the details of the sire. So in your breeding section here, you have the option of creating mating records. You can create them as a generic task, or you can link them to the yo. Same as then with your scan results. So when you select, we'll just use the mating records for argument's sake. When you select mating records, you can link it directly to the animals, or you can just go a general note, and allows you to just put in general details and save it. Because look, it depends on your farming structure whether you want to keep the full detail as linking to the animals and the progeny and history, or else if you just want to keep a generic record, you have that option here as well. So that's kind of on the sheep side. So do you want to fire ahead with a few questions there, Katie, or is there anything?
Yeah, perfect. Right, I might start with one that's pretty common coming in. So it's just a general query. So if this might be a new user. So if my AI man is putting the serves into his system, will they automatically come into Herdwatch?
So if your AI technician is putting them into his handheld, or he's uploading them onto ICBF, once the sync with ICBF and Herdwatch is set up, the information will flow into the app. So you can see here in breeding and in serves will start loading here. And if you just want to make sure, if you click into any of the serves, it'll have source ICBF at the bottom. Now this serve was created in app by one of the guys here, but any of the serves that are come across from ICBF, go down through the list now, there could be one down there somewhere. No, it's not here, but you'll see source ICBF. But once they're putting it into your handheld and say that information is going to ICBF and the connections there, we'll get into Herdwatch.
And they don't have to pay ICBF for that. That's a free feature, isn't it? That the serves come across to Herdwatch.
There's different levels, I think, with subscriptions with ICBF and their plans. I know every herd in Ireland has ICBF details, but they do have a Herd Plus program there. So it just depends on what way your own herd set up with ICBF. But
yeah,
every herd has ICBF details. So once the connection set up, whatever details is available to us, we'll be able to put into the system.
Perfect. And then similar to that, just someone's asking, how do they get the ICBF login? Obviously a farmer who doesn't use it but wants to get their serves maybe.
Yeah, so if you don't have your ICBF login details, if you reach out to ICBF directly, or else on their website there's an option for to if you forgot your password, you can follow a link there as far as I know, and it'll send details across to you. Or else if you give them a call, they'll be able to give you your username and password. And then once you have them details, like I said before, let's go 3 lines top left. Sorry, computer could be freezing here. Is that changing, Katie?
No. But yeah, I did that there recently actually. I rang ICBF and I asked for my ICBF login, even though I've never used ICBF before. They sent me a username and password and I was able to put them into the app, and it was instant. All the serves came across straight away, which was very handy.
What I might just do is I might just stop sharing for a second, Katie, and reshare.
Yeah.
Just this my computer.
Um,
2 seconds. Share.
so just another question that I know how to answer. I can be answering a few here, Chris, while you're figuring that out. Someone asked just about registering twins. Is it a different process? The answer is no. All you have to do is register your two calves to the same cow. You just have to do the process twice. Make sure you have your different calf tag number for each one, obviously, but make sure the dam and the sire are the same. So all you have to do is register each calf separately.
Can you see the screen there now, Katie?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, it was just 3 lines in the top left, settings, and then it gives you the sync with ICBF option. And you can just pop in your ICBF details there, and that'll start the sync process.
Perfect. Then people are asking kind of more questions about stock bulls and AI sires. So first of all, they're asking, where do I find last year's stock bull if they're not in my herd anymore and I'm registering calves to them this year?
Okay, so if you're in the registration itself, right? I'll just go into a registration here. When you press sire, it gives you your active AI bulls, it gives you your moved out list of males, and then it gives you the legacy sires and then any males in herd. You can also add a sire here on the fly as well. Now, managing these lists and what you can do through your smart list option on the app. So say if you haven't started calving yet and you just want to clean up the sires that are available in the list, so go into my herd, go into smart lists, and then you'll have the options for active AI bulls. You'll have legacy AI bulls as well, and then you'll have your moved out list. So if it's a stock bull that's moved out, just go into your moved out list, find his profile. So we'll just go with this animal. Click into his profile, press the 3 dots in the top right hand corner and select edit. When you scroll down, it gives you the option to set, is this a stock bull? And once this toggle is turned on and you save the record, that bull will be available in the list for you then when it comes to registering calves. With your AI codes or your AI sires, if you select into your active AI sires, top of the list here.
This is all still in the smart list.
Yeah, in the smart list. So in your active AI bulls, it'll give you any bulls that have been used in the herd in the last 2 years. You can refresh this list and clean it up for you automatically. But in the event that there's a bull that should be in this list that isn't displaying, that you say you want to use in the last year, or it's a bull you want to add to the list that you previously used. If you go into your legacy AI bull list, so you have legacy AI bulls, you can select the AI bull that you want to use, press the 3 dots in the top right hand corner and go edit. And then you can just set, is this an active AI bull, and press save. Now, in the event, so any of your sires that are available on the ICBS side will automatically come into ourselves. But if you are doing DIY AI and you want to add a sire to the system, if you're in the list, you can just press the plus sign. So I'll just go back up to the active AI bulls. You can just press the plus sign and you can just go down to, there's an option to create animal. Nice, like now it's in the best. So we go animal and allows you to create an AI bull here. And you can put in the AI code, the breed, the date used from, the date used until, and then you have other options there. So in the event that you are doing DIY AI and you want to create the bulls yourself, you can just do it through this section. You also have the option there as well for creating a bull from another herd. and you have the option then as well as selecting the stock bull moved out.
So that's a bit of homework now for everybody, is to check your stock bull that you used last year, make sure he's selected as a stock bull, and to clean up your AI bulls if you are doing it yourself. Brilliant. So next question that's coming in is the process of registering a dead calf on the app.
Okay, so if the process of registering the dead calf would be you follow the same procedure in registering the calf. So when you go male or female, and then it gives you the option here for stillborn if applicable. So if you select dead at birth, that registration will send through to the department. And once the knackery receive the animal, they'll process the debt as well. So that'll mark the animal off your herd and the animal will automatically go into your moved out list. In the event that you don't have the calf registered before it goes to the knackery may notify that tag number to the department. So when you go to register the calf then on Herdwatch, you might get a message to say that this animal already exists in your herd. In the event that that happens, if you go into your moved out list, that calf's tag number will be there. So you can just edit that animal's profile. But generally, if you have the calf registered before it goes to the knackery, you should have no problems then. It'll automatically move out your herd profile into the moved out list. But you can select the option here at the registration. It's an optional field, but you can select it instead at birth and then send the registration through to the department.
Perfect. You mentioned that you need a 6-digit PIN to do all calf registrations, movements, etc., anything with the department. If people don't have that PIN at hand today or tonight, how do they get it so they have it for when they are registering their calves?
So say initially when you would have signed up to Herdwatch, you would have been emailed your Herdwatch PIN, or you would have got an email from ourselves just with the 6-digit PIN on it. If you've lost it or you can't remember it, just use the help center here in the app. Just press help, and then you can just pop as a message to request the PIN, and the guys will send you a message with the PIN for your account.
Brilliant. So hopefully not too many of you have lost those emails back when you first signed up with Herdwatch, but they're fairly easy to get. So do use that message feature for anything, even if you have questions or suggestions about the app. Use that message feature and we'll get back to you as fast as we can. You just re-show how you would connect your EID reader. So this may be mainly for sheep.
So for sheep and cattle, and you'll see this icon on your screen. So if you press the Bluetooth icon here on your phone, or the laptop I'm using here won't allow me to connect with it, but on your phone or your tablet, if you press the Bluetooth icon and you have your reader set up correctly, and you have the Bluetooth turned on your phone, it'll prompt up on your screen then to connect the reader. If you're having any difficulties connecting the reader, we have loads of help articles on our website, and you can also get them through the app, or else you can just reach out to us on the phone or pop us a message. In the help center here, when you press the home, you have the option to search for articles. So you can just go in and type in the EID readers and you'll be able to find the articles on it. But your Bluetooth icon here, both on the home screen and on the task, is where you're going to go connect your readers.
Yeah, and it's also worth noting that there is, like Chris said, those help articles, you'll be able to see which readers in particular connect to the Herdwatch app. So make sure you check that out before you go spending money on a reader. That's obviously vital. So use those help articles to find that out.
If you're connecting a wayhead as well, you'll follow the same procedure here. So if you're using the wayhead feature with weighing cattle, you connect it through the Bluetooth icon as well.
And if anyone is thinking of getting EID readers or wayheads, we do have a full list of them on our website as well if you just search them in the search bar. And we do offer discounts to Herdwatch members. So that's also worth thinking about. If it's something you're thinking about doing this year, do get in touch and the team will be able to advise you on how much everything costs and what ones in particular we sync up with. Let me just check any more questions coming in. Dara is getting to a lot of them privately. Again, guys, if you have a specific question, do let us know.
I suppose the calving book as well, that's under the management section. So if you have the complete plan with Herdwatch, you'll have the calving book option. So it's a handy new feature there. There's a lot of great value information that you can get out of it. So I know I went through it briefly there, but say when you scroll across through the details in each different tab, as I said, you can select if you've received the passport, your genotype of the DNA program, you'll get the statuses here and any updates in regards to dam and sire. But also, I forgot to mention, if you're disbudding or you're castrating or you're, say, doing a weaning task, you have the options here as well to select them as a part of the calving book. So it's a handy new feature. And look, if it is of interest to anyone that's, say, on the essentials plan, look, we have great offers there available if you're interested in upgrading and trying out the complete plan and what features the complete plan has to offer.
Brilliant. Another one that's kind of common coming in relation to genotyping is, why do my genotyped calves get moved out when I register them? So moved out of their herd list, I'm guessing.
So the only reason that I moved out of the herd list is when the results haven't come back. So we have a kind of a 20-day window there. But if the results come back over, or say after 21 days, if the animal has moved out of your list, it'll automatically move back in. So look, the animal is technically not considered in herd until the blue card is issued. Some would say, but once the department have it considered on their herd profile and the results are all back, we'll have the information and it'll show on your herd profile. But in my herd and smart lists, in your moved out list, now you also have the option here on the side. It's a handy feature where you can flag it. So if you press the little star, the side moved out, it'll move the moved out list to the top. So you can see here, moved out list. That's where you'll find the animal. So it'll automatically move back into your herd once it's considered in your herd profile.
So they don't have to do anything, only keep an eye on it and it'll come back in automatically.
But by using the calving book as well is a very handy way of keeping on top of the DNA program. But if you do have any questions in regards to the DNA program, don't hesitate to reach out to us through the message center as well. I know there's different queries, so just don't hesitate to reach out to us and we'll certainly be able to help you.
Perfect. Someone's just asking about reports. Where do they find them in terms of their schemes, board BA, all that?
So your management section here on the home screen, you'll see you have the reports here. When you select reports, it gives you a breakdown of all the different reports that you can get. So if it's for an audit, department inspection or board BA audit, you can select on board BA audit and generate all the reports. All the reports in regards to remedies, feeds, animal and herd, spray reports, they're all fully compliant with board BA. So you can generate the reports here prior to the audit and they'll be emailed across to the email address on the account. And there's other management reports available here as well. So you can have a look through the section here on the management tab.
Brilliant. And it's also worth noting as well, everybody, that with Herdwatch on the complete plan, you're entitled to a pre-audit check. So that basically is sitting down with a member of the team and they'll go through your records and make sure everything is all right for your audit, any inspection you're having. So that can be booked. Where can they book a pre-audit check, Chris?
If you reach out to one of the team, or what's it called, we can book you in for an appointment. We have different slots. It's a checklist that we run through with you, and it's kind of giving you peace of mind, a second set of eyes in regards to the paperwork. But look, if it is something of interest to you and the complete plan, just reach out to us and we'll certainly look after you.
Brilliant. That seems to be all the most common questions coming in. Dara has answered a lot of them privately behind the scenes, so thanks for that, Dara. If anybody has any other questions, you can pop them in here quickly before we sign off, and we will get back to them. I'll be sending them on to the customer support team. Chris, I might just continue sharing there again, just to finish off. Right, can you see that, Chris?
Yep, that's back there now.
So we've come to the end of it. Thanks very much for bearing with us. I hope you've all taken away something, and I hope you're all ready for the some of you probably have already started calving or lambing. So best of luck with that. We are heading to Balmoral Spring Farm Machinery Show tomorrow for the next 2 days. So if you are going to that, make sure you call into the stand. If you have any more questions or you want a demo of anything, do get in touch. The team are also really great. If you do want a demo of anything again, they do allow time for that. So do get in touch. Use that message feature in the app as well. You can also contact us as well by phone, email, and the message feature. So do use those. Always make sure you have the latest version of the app downloaded. So if you're finding there's something off it or something's not refreshing in the app, just make sure it's updated in your Google Play or your app store. as well, make sure you are checking us out on social media. We have Ag Ventures, which are basically vlogs of different farmers on our website. And we have the AgriPod, which I host monthly with different guests from all around the world. So do check those out. There's our phone number if you want to take a picture of the screen now and keep it handy. We also have email. These are it's the help center on our website. So if you go into website and click into resources, you'll see help center. In here, you'll find articles, tutorials, videos to go through a lot of things we've touched tonight. So do check that out. It's really, really helpful, even if you just need another little demo. And like I've said numerous times, use that message feature, the chat in the app. It comes straight to the team every day. So they do try and get back to everyone as soon as possible. So if you find yourself you need a little bit of help, do use it. That brings us, oh, sorry, one more thing before I forget. If you want to save €100 off your renewal, so whenever you're renewing next, this could be vital for you. It's called the Refer Friend Scheme. All you have to do is get a friend who doesn't have Herdwatch to create a free account. They don't have to sign up. All they have to do is create that free account and sync it with a valid herd number. Like Chris explained there with syncing with Ag Foods. So if you get a friend, you can get 5 friends. It's €100 per person you'll get off. So obviously the more you get, the better for you. But do keep that in mind. You can fill out the form on our website on the Refer Friend section. And we'll be able to validate that and get you that €100 off your next renewal. So it's definitely worth thinking about. So keep an eye out for that. That brings us to the end of this webinar. Thanks very much for joining. Like I said, we'll be recording this and emailing it out to everybody. So if you weren't here tonight, I'm sure you'll get to watch it at some stage. But on behalf of myself, Chris and Dara, thanks very much. Best of luck with the calving and the lambing, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, everybody.